Good morning. What a great looking group of folks out here today. Thank you all for being with us. Today is August the 1st of 2023, and this is our monthly meeting of the Alabama Public Service Commission. For the record, the public was notified of today's meeting by notice dated July the 5th. Once again, thank you all, and please, if you would, turn your phones to vibrate or your personal devices off so that you don't disturb the meeting, and then I'll do my best to remind you at the end to turn them back on. Let me introduce my colleagues. To my right is Commissioner Jeremy H. Oden in place 1. To my left is Commissioner Chip Beaker, Jr. in place 2. To my far right is our Chief Administrative Law Judge and Executive Director, John Garner, and below is our Secretary, Mr. Walter Thomas. I am Twinkle Andress Kavanaugh, President of the Commission. As is customary, each month one commissioner gets to bring in a friend or a colleague to offer the prayer and the pledge. And I think this is a friend of all of ours. We just mentioned on the dais, but Commissioner Beaker did the job of inviting our very prestigious guest today and friend, and we are so happy to have you here. I'm going to let Commissioner Beaker introduce our friend.
Thank you. It is certainly a pleasure to have Mr. Wes Allen come in and be with us today. He was sworn in as Alabama's 54th Secretary of State on July the 16th of this year. He's a lifelong Republican. He served as Pike County's probate judge for nearly a decade before being elected to serve District 89 in the Alabama House of Representatives. Wes' voting record was analyzed by the Alabama Policy Institute, HICOT. He received a 100% conservative rating based on his voting record for the Alabama House of Representatives. Wes is a strong believer in the Second Amendment and recently became an official NRA certified pistol instructor. Wes earned his undergraduate degree from the University of Alabama, where he played football for the Crimson Tide. He received a master's degree from Troy University. Wes and his wife, Kay, have 2 children. They attend the First Baptist Church of Troy, where Wes is an ordained deacon and Sunday school leader. Wes, thank you so much for coming and being with us today. It is an honor and a privilege to have you.
Where we go? Picture made with you first.
Good morning. Such an honor to be with you. Thank you to my friends and commissioners for inviting me to open this meeting up with prayer. I really appreciate the opportunity. It's an honor and privilege to serve as Secretary of State these first 6 months in office. It's a humbling experience to be able to pull up that state capitol each and every day and knowing that we represent the fine people of Alabama. So let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we thank you for this day. I thank you for the unique and blessed opportunity that you have given each and every one of us in this room. You have bestowed upon us great blessings, not only personally, but just as a state and as a nation. Thank you for my friends, the commissioners, for inviting me to share in this time with each one of them and each one of those gathered here in this room. I pray, Father, and ask in the name of Jesus that you would bless each and every person here. Father, we deal with things in each of our lives that I pray that we'll just hand over to you and give to you, Father, and completely submit to you and your will. I pray that we would always be mindful and open, and you would open our minds and our hearts to your good and perfect will for each of our lives in this room. Dear God, I thank you that you have blessed us beyond measure. I pray for each and every commissioner in this room that you would give them your divine wisdom and judgment and discernment in all things and all decisions that come before them. All elected officials in Alabama, I pray for and lift up all our national leaders. Dear Heavenly Father, that you would bless them as well and allow them to make wise decisions best for the country. Father, I pray over this time. Just ask for your counsel. Your word says in Psalm 33:11, the counsel of the Lord standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Father, we just ask for your special blessings on this meeting and for the rest of the day. Just guide our steps. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Flag. Attention. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Now we will move on to the adoption and approval of the minutes from our July 11th, 2023 PSC meeting.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Yes.
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 With there being no old business to discuss, we will move on to new business here at the Commission. We will begin with our Public Service Commission monthly reports. The first report up is our Utility Services Division. Our monthly report is usually given by our director, Mr. Jeff Johnston. However, he is out today, so Judge Garner will give that report. And if you will just keep Mr. Jeff Johnston and his family in your prayers. His stepson was a firefighter and was killed this past weekend. And so please keep that family in your prayers. I know they are suffering tremendously. Judge.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm not going to dwell on the complaint situation for the month. It's pretty routine for this time of year. Naturally, we have a few more complaints on the electric side because of the higher bills during this time of year because of usage. But other than that, it's a pretty routine report. The charts speak for themselves, so I'm not going to go into great detail on those. And then we will, from there, move to the natural gas agenda under docket 18046 and 18328. Spire, Alabama, INC. This is the division's report on rate RSCs of June 30th, 23. Based on preliminary figures at the point of test of June 30, 23, the projected RSC return on average common equity for the rate year ending September 30, 2023 was 7.9%. That is below the authorized range and results in no adjustment to rates. The authorized return on average common equity, as you know, is 9.5 to 9.90. Moving on to docket 28101, this is Spire Gulf INC, the division report on rate RSC as of June 30. Based on preliminary figures as of that date, the projected RSC return on average common equity for the year ending September 30, 23 was 10.14%. That is above, well, it's actually within the range, as the authorized range is 9.7 to 10.3%. Next, we have a U docket, it's docket U5446, Spire Gulf INC. This is an application for approval of a manual meter read fee, and the recommendation is approval.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
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 All right, and it's a very slim month as far as telecommunications. These are all filings that do not require commission action. Just refer to them for your approval. And unless you have any questions, that concludes the presentation this morning. So it's a very brief one.
Thank you, Judge. That was a short report, but thank you. Appreciate it. And next, we will move on to our Gas Pipeline Safety Division, Mr. Jonathan Kimbrell, our Acting Division Director.
Good morning, Commissioners. Today I'll be presenting the gas pipeline safety agenda that was submitted on July 25th. The agenda will reflect activities taken by Gas Pipeline Safety during the month of June. Gas Pipeline Safety was able to perform 42 inspections, 2 training sessions, utilizing 97 in-person days for the month of June. Of those 42 inspections, we issued 7 enforcement letters, 20 non-compliance issues, and we were able to correct out 55 non-compliance issues from previous months. Of the 2 trainings, one was done with a municipality and one was done with a contractor. Accidents and incidents for the month of June in the state of Alabama, there were 0 federal incidents reported and only 2 state reportable incidents for the month. One was Upper Sand Mountain, had a 4-inch plastic main struck, and the other was Florence Gas, had a critical valve fail that had to be replaced. Barring any questions, that's it for Gas Pipeline Safety.
Thank you. Next, we have our Utility Enforcement Division, represented by Mrs. Amanda Shehane, our Acting Director.
Thank you. Good morning. You have before you the Utility Enforcement Division's agenda dated July 25th, describing the major tasks, inspections, and activities performed during June. First, we will cover the railway safety section. On the first page, you will see a total of 141 defects noted, 51 track defects, and 90 equipment defects. None of those rose to the level of a violation. On the second page, you will see that there were 6 incidents reported during the month, 2 derailments, a trespasser strike, and 3 vehicle strikes. Moving to the motor carrier services section, it was a routine month for applications and insurance filings. And you will see that as of June 30th, 9,542 Alabama carriers, or 78%, have registered for the 2023 UCR. There was 1 household goods tariff accepted and 1 desk audit completed with no major findings. And pending any questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Appreciate it, and appreciate you stepping up to the plate. Next, we have our Electricity Division, represented by Mr. John Free, our Division Director, Ms. Patricia Smith, our Public Utility Analyst Manager.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
You have before you the Electricity Policy Division's agenda dated July 25th, 2023. Ms. Patricia Smith will present the division's monthly update on rates RSC and ECR for Alabama Power Company.
Good morning, Commissioners. The division's monthly report on rates RSC and ECR are under dockets 18117, 18416, and 18148. Regarding rate RSC, the staff performed its monthly examination of the books and records of Alabama Power Company and determined the reprojected weighted return on average retail common equity was 5.77% for the 12 months ended December 31, 2023. This return is based on 6 months of actual data for January to June 2023 and 6 months of budget data for July through December 2023. As for rate ECR, the staff performed the regular month review of Alabama Power's energy costs for the month of June 2023 and determined an over-recovery of approximately $29.8 million. Commissioner, this is our report on rate RSC and ECR.
Commissioners, we do not have any additional docket items this month, so pending any questions you have, this completes our report.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Next, we have our Legal Division, represented by Commission Administrative Law Judge Luke Bentley, along with Commission Attorney Chad Mason, and then it will be followed by Judge John Garner.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
I'm going to try to make up for the other divisions for their shorter agendas with the Law Legal Division agenda.
You've worked hard this summer.
I'm getting to claim some of Ms. Young's work today, too. So I'll start with Ms. Young's items. This is on page 1, and she has 7 items on the regular agenda, and I'll present those together for one vote. Under docket 20623, the petition of J. Nix Trucking LLC of Thorsby, Alabama, for reinstatement of motor carrier certificate F4800, which was revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of liability and cargo insurance coverage. Ms. Young recommends a grant of the petition and reinstatement of that certificate. Under dockets Docket C 20649, petition of All My Sons Moving and Storage Pensacola LLC for reinstatement of motor carrier certificate 4078, which was revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of cargo insurance coverage. The recommendation is for a grant of the petition and reinstatement of the certificate. Under dockets 32772 and C 19176, petition of J. Cron Trucking LLC of Montgomery, Alabama, for cancellation of motor carrier certificate F4459. And J. Cron Trucking LLC also has approval of Cargo Self-Insurance Authority and informal docket C 19176. The recommendation is for the grant of cancellation as requested under docket 32772 and grant of the cancellation of Cargo Self-Insurance Authority as requested under docket C 19176. And on the top of page 2, under docket 33236, petition of Wilson's Contractors LLC of Tallahassee, Alabama for cancellation of motor carrier certificate F5331. Recommendations for the grant of cancellation as requested. Under docket 31826, petition of J.S. Wallace Trucking Inc. of Centerville, Alabama for cancellation of motor carrier certificate F4582. Recommendation grant of cancellation as requested. Under docket 28017, the petition of Super Value Transportation Inc. of Anniston, Alabama for cancellation of motor carrier certificate F2343. Recommendation is for the grant of cancellation as requested. And the last item under Ms. Young's agenda is under docket 33210, the petition of BML Freight Services LLC of Montgomery, Alabama for cancellation of motor carrier certificate F5311. Recommendations for grant cancellation as requested.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
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 And then I'll move to the off-agenda item, and this was on the agenda dated July 28, 2023. This is also one of Ms. Young's items. It's under docket 24982 and C7640. Petition of CRST Malone Inc. of Vestavia, Alabama for cancellation of motor carrier certificate F678. CRST Malone Inc. also has approval of liability self-insurance authority and informal docket C7640. The recommendation is for grant cancellation as requested, and also the grant of cancellation of the liability self-insurance authority as requested.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
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 Okay, moving back to the regular agenda on page 2, we'll pick up with my items. And I have 5 items, and I'll present those also. The first one is under docket C20627, the petition of Movers Plus LLC of Helena, Alabama for reinstatement of motor carrier certificate 4089, which was revoked for failure to maintain proper proof of liability insurance coverage. I recommend grant of the petition and reinstatement of that certificate. Actually, I'll go ahead and take the next.
Do you want to take them separately?
I'll take the next one also together. It's another
Okay.
motor carrier item. Under docket C12304, the petition of James L. Reeves doing business as Dirt Buddy of Shelby, Alabama for cancellation of Cargo Self-Insurance Authority. I recommend grant of cancellation of Cargo Self-Insurance Authority as requested.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
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 Sorry, I said I was going to take them separately, and then I didn't. Sorry about that. The last item on this page is a telecom matter. It's under docket 33364, the application of Legent Com LLC doing business as DC Communications of Las Vegas, Nevada for a certificate to provide telecommunications services in the state of Alabama. Hearing was held on June 15th, 2023, in which commission staff participated. I recommend approval of that certificate application.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
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 The next item is on page 3. It's under docket 33335. It's an investigation proceeding to consider the issuance of a certificate of public convenience and necessity for Eco Preservation Services LLC, and to determine the rates, terms, and conditions of service to be implemented by ECO. The Office of the Attorney General filed a notice of intervention, and D.R. Horton, Inc. of Birmingham filed a motion to intervene. The hearing was held on May 11, 2023, in which the respondent, the Attorney General, D.R. Horton, and commission staff participated. At the hearing, the respondent provided background on the sewer service provided to more than 700 residential and commercial customers in Tuscaloosa and Jefferson counties. ECO asserted that the commission should approve ECO's current sewer rate schedule, including the following rates in addition to the numerous surcharges and fees. And this next section is just an overview of the rates they proposed. You'll see that the proposed residential base rate per 100 cubic feet is $12.10. The proposed residential minimum monthly charge was $126. Their proposed commercial base rate per 100 cubic feet was $14.52, and the proposed commercial minimum monthly charge was $151. And that's those minimums, it's a monthly charge. The hearing testimony showed that ECO's sewer operations rely on other entities and that those entities have common ownership with ECO. Following the hearing, the parties provided briefs to address whether the agreements between those entities are arm's length agreements. ECO provided sufficient evidence to support the issuance of a certificate. However, the respondent failed to provide sufficient financial documentation to allow for a complete evaluation of its current rates, fees, and service regulation. The evidence does reveal reported expenses that were not prudently incurred by ECO, and therefore an interim adjustment to the respondent's sewer service rates is warranted. The sewer rate schedule proposed by ECO also included some penalty fees, and all fees should be based on cost rather than being punitive in nature. I recommend approval of a certificate of convenience and necessity, a setting of a new hearing to further consider sewer rates, fees, and service regulation, and approval of interim sewer rates and fees to be effective September 1st, 2023. And those new proposed fees are as follows. And these correlate with the proposed fees in the same categories. But the recommended fee for the residential base rate per 100 cubic feet is $8.54. Recommended residential minimum monthly charge is $88.96. Recommended commercial base rate per 100 cubic feet is $10.25. The recommended commercial minimum monthly charge is $106.59. And also recommend a disallowance of all punitive fees.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Mr. McBee?
Yes.
Turning to page 4, this is my last item. It's under docket 33279. It's the petition / investigation of water rates for Blue Hole Water Company, Inc. Blue Hole seeks approval to increase the minimum monthly water charge by $17.39, and that's from $28.98 to $46.37. Blue Hole also proposed a 60% increase for each 1,000 gallons used above the monthly minimum usage level of 2,000 gallons. Blue Hole's rate filing is both a petition for new rates pursuant to Alabama Code Section 37-1-81 and a response to the commission-initiated investigation. Therefore, this matter proceeded as both a rate filing and an investigation. On March 10th, 2023, the commission found that the requested tariff revisions required additional investigation to determine whether rate increases were warranted for customers. The commission suspended the requested effective date of April 1st, 2023 to and through September 28th of 2023. The Office of the Attorney General filed a notice of intervention, and a hearing was held on May 9th, 2023, in which the Attorney General and commission staff participated. Based on the evidence presented, Blue Hole does not require the requested 60% increase in water service rates. While the proposed rate increase is not warranted, a smaller rate increase is due for rates to be just and reasonable to both the utility and the company. I recommend approval of the following water rates and certain agreed upon changes to the tariff. I also recommend an establishment of a regular report on water loss. So the recommended new minimum flat rate charge is $38.25. And then per 1,000 gallons, this is from 2001 to 5,000 gallons, is $17.05. And the next tier of 5,001 gallons to 10,000 gallons, this is per 1,000 gallons, is $12.18. And the highest tier is for usage above 10,000 gallons, and this is also per 1,000 gallon charge, and that's $10.85.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Cavanaugh.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beagle.
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Mr. Mason?
Good morning.
Morning.
I have two items that I'll take separate. The first one is on docket 33197. Cetus Technologies LLC, doing business as With of Birmingham, Alabama, has failed to renew its permit to operate as a transportation network company in the state of Alabama. Pursuant to Commission's T&C Rule 3, With was required to file its renewal by July 1, 2023, or be subject to a late fee. With has still failed to file for renewal. I recommend a revocation of With's T&C permit effective 30 days from the date of notice.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Cavanaugh.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beagle.
Yes.
This item is under docket 33276. Consideration on all standards of amended purpose section 111D from sections 40104 and 40431 of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act of 2021. Comments were received and reviewed by staff. I recommend that the commission not adopt the standards set forth in sections 40104 and 40431. The staff has reviewed prior commission action with regard to these proposed standards and the comments filed in this docket, and has determined that with regard to the proposed standards concerning the promotion of cost recovery, of demand response and demand flexibility practices, and the promotion of greater electrification of the transportation sector, that the various actions already taken by the commission and the state of Alabama have satisfied the standards laid out in the IIJA 2021, and no further action is required.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Cavanaugh.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beagle.
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge?
Thank you, Madam President. The only remaining items I have for presentation are those reflected on the administrative agenda. I recommend approval of all those items.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Cavanaugh.
Yes.
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 That's all I have, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any other new business to come before the commission? But there being no more new business to come before the commission, let me remind you in closing that our next regularly scheduled monthly meeting of the Alabama Public Service Commission is scheduled for September the 12th of 2023. This is just a quick reminder, so you don't miss a call. Turn your phones back on. And with there being no further business, let me remind you, August the 11th is the state 811 Call Before You Dig Day, and immediately after this meeting, we will be signing a proclamation. So before you dig, call 811. Remember that on August the 11th, 811 is call 811 before you dig. Thank you, and we stand adjourned.